Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Man, it's been a while, but we're back at it, folks. Joining me tonight is a ragtag crew. It's a championship season, but you know what? I don't know what's going on. The enthusiasm has been a little shaky. So we only got 3 people joining the cast tonight. First, joining us from a secret lair down somewhere in some place, the one and only JC from Sunnyside.
Oh, what's going on, Big Reg? I feel a little offended that you referred us to as ragtag crew. Holy smokes. Come on now. Come on now. Glad to be back on the set. It's been a while, but lots on my mind, Big Reg. Lots on my mind.
Well, we're going to get to it in just a sec, right after we introduce our next guest, the one and the only nameless guest.
I feel the same way. Just can't wait to talk about one of our favorite subjects, Michigan football. So fun, so good. Let's roll. Let's go.
Let's go
Happy
with
mission.
it.
The happy mission continues. Let's go.
Well, since the last time we all came together, we had none other than, holy smokes, who is this trying to connect with an iPhone? What is this nonsense? Holy smokes, this guy, Johnny come lately, but oh man, he comes in creepy as always. The one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
Wow, better late than never. I had to rush back from a high school orchestra concert. Barely made it through without falling asleep, but I'm here.
There you go. Kudos to nameless guest attending one of the, I think half of the orchestra is made up of his kids. So kudos to you, Squarehead. Jumping right into it. Since the last time we met, what was it? We played Minnesota and we killed them 52-10. And then we rowed our boats all the way back home with the brown jug in hand. And then we played Indiana. And man, oh man, we smoked those suckers too. 52-7. 2 games, 2 dominating performances for the Michigan Wolverines. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, the superlatives for me, can't be enough. There's not enough superlative to describe how I'm feeling about not only our offense, not only our defense, not only our special teams, but this special season overall. It is close to, you know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get ahead of myself and say perfection, but it's feeling pretty good.
I think it's easy to feel good when week in and week out you're playing against varsity high school teams.
Oh, yeah.
Let's feel good about crushing high school varsity football teams week to week. I know that we can't control the Big Ten schedule, but we can control the first 3 games that we play every season, and to continue to schedule these cupcake teams. It's I think it's fool's gold.
Holy smokes. This guy trying to bring back something from over a month ago. Come on, man.
The same old conversation from Mr. Square. It's got to get out of the past, get out of the pandemic, right? This is past the first few months of the pandemic. Squarehead, come on, man.
COVID is back. COVID is back. Nameless will tell you that COVID is back, but it's the same conversation because it's the same thing every year. Come on, man.
Look, we can only play who's in front of us, right? And we can only perform and do what we have to do with whichever opponent is in front of us. And we have the stat, like the first team since 1905 or something that scored at least 30 points and have given up less than 10. Since 1905, not even Alabama, the dynasty, right, has done that. Michigan football has done it. And our starters are playing what? The first 3 quarters, right? The 3 quarters and fourth quarter is our second and third string. Like, we're doing what we're supposed to do against these teams, and even more. We're exceeding expectations when it comes to performing against these lower tier teams. But hey, we're doing more than what we need to do.
Yeah, weak is weak though, and that is true. The schedule has been weak, but strong is also like dominatingly strong is also the case. And with every week that this builds, hopefully culminating in yet another just kind of whoop ass on the Sparties, it just increases the Michigan confidence. This what Square is representing is what we kind of all felt, to be honest, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, as we're like, how much can we believe in this team? But most of Michigan Nation, the tide is turning. Hopefully we don't get overconfident. It doesn't get to our heads. We don't do well, you know what, as what do you call those guys from the lead, we do well with a chip on our shoulders and a little us against the world kind of mentality. So I don't want anyone's heads to get too big. Can't get a whole bunch of Donovan types, personalities on the team, thinking they're like the next Barry Sanders. That's going to be our downfall. That deep, dark, scary place that Coach Harbs always talks about. No, nobody's going to take a deep, big bow and fall to that. But we are looking good, and I'm happy.
I know it's like the trap we fell for in 2020. We're actually in Minnesota, the first game of the season, where Joe Milton, I think Big Reg called him like the Heisman, favorite after that game, and said like he's the real deal. And
Time out. I never said Joe Milton was a dark horse Heisman candidate. Come on, man. I only said that one time about one person. And then from that point forward, y'all claim that I call everybody that. Y'all are crazy. Come on, man. Oh,
and then we got overhyped after that Minnesota game in 2020.
Yeah.
And it just went downhill. But this time in Minnesota, another data point in addition to outperforming what we expected to do is PJ Fleck said after the game, this is maybe the best team that he's ever seen, right? Defense, offense, special teams, how fast we were, how deep we were, how big we were. I mean, that's something from a head coach of a Big Ten football team.
wow.
Come on, man. We hear that all the time from other coaches after we pound them. That's what they do. They get pounded and they say, "Oh my gosh, that's probably the best team on both sides of the football that we've ever played." You know what the weak point is on our team? Quarterback.
No.
JJ, who can't make a throw, an accurate throw. He is the question mark on this team. When we start playing formidable secondaries and those corners and safeties are going to break on those balls, he can't even hit a guy in stride. He hasn't hit a single receiver on stride. Always underthrown, always behind the receiver. Go back and look at the tape.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, somebody's jump in, call out this crazy talk. Come on.
This guy, the numbers speak for themselves. His accuracy, his efficiency, and if you look at the tape, there's a couple throws. Maybe he was a little bit off kilter, but the intangibles is another thing that JJ brings, especially with his scrambling ability, especially with his ability to extend plays. And we can't underestimate the value of him being able to run the football effectively. That is an X factor that many teams are having a tough time accounting for. And it's just going to make our offense more potent.
The only intangibles JJ brings is nice hair and a nice smile. Come on, buddy.
Gosh.
Come on, man.
You said he's just sunshine and smiles? Is that all he is to you? Come on, man. He's
Well,
more
there's
a
reason why he's the number 2 odds-on favorite to win the Heisman trophy. There's a reason why. I think people start recognizing that they're calling him a top 5 draft pick, and his ability, his skills, but more than that, I would say like the culture that he cultivates right? He's not about me. Doesn't need all the stats. The perfect guy for Jim Harbaugh. Him and Corum.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
another guy that's kind of like an unsung hero on the defensive side of the ball, I have to say, Michael Barrett.
Mm.
Michael Barrett. I don't know. He's been around for like 15 years, but the dude is balling out. And I would say he's actually playing better than Junior Colson. You know, I'd say Junior Colson is a guy who will make the tackle to save you from extending a 3-yard run to a 15-yard run. But Barrett is making some key stops behind the line of scrimmage. Hats off to Barrett.
Through that. I'm raising my glass to Michael Barrett. He was originally recruited by Brady Hoke, so raise my glass to him.
So
Man, there's too many dead spots in this episode. I'm telling you, none of us are used to jumping in anymore. Holy smokes. It's so awkward. It's like a first date.
Nunchi everywhere. This group. So Rusty. We only played 2 quarters. Michigan played 3 quarters. We're barely getting any game action here.
I know. It's kind of like, Will Johnson and, trying to work back into the secondary, We need a pick 6 here. Come on, let's go. Somebody pick 6 it. Come on.
If you think JJ is a number 2 leading Heisman candidate, you got to be nuts, man. You got to be nuts. There's no way he's in the top 5 for a Heisman candidate at this point.
I personally don't like that talk either. I do think it's premature. I think he could continue on this trajectory, but those show me games are coming, and he's going to have his opportunity. And man, if he hits a home run there, it's his. It is his for the taking. And I think I believe in his skills, but we're not quite there yet. But when that D line, that ferocious, athletic, nimble, fast, number 1 defense, Penn State D line starts putting the pressure, JJ's gonna have to earn his stripes, and that will be a test. And I think those impressive runs, you better be humble, and the coaching staff better be ready to know that all those runs may not necessarily go the way that it's been going. He's going to be chased down here and there, and all those long runs may be shorter runs. The escapability might turn into some. I mean, just we'll have to see. But that's what I'll be watching. And his response to, making those darts and 80% completion rates under fire and under that compression, that's going to come down a little bit. So that'll be very fun to watch and telling.
He's set up, though. He's set up. The talks about Heisman, JJ McCarthy is bubbling. And if he shows out against Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State, dude, my $20 on FanDuels on JJ McCarthy and a plus 1,000. That's plus 1,000, bro.
Oh man, he put his money where his mouth is. That's what I like to hear. Holy smokes. We'll put a link down below. You can use the link to join FanDuel. You get a $75 joining credit, and then we'll get a little piece of the action too. You can bet along with the crew. Holy smokes, let's go. Wow. I'm telling you though, leaving JJ aside for now, because I don't think we're going to come to any kind of consensus right now about that. The thing that I like right now about the team the most is Blake Corum rounding into form. But the thing that concerns me still a little bit is the productivity of one Donovan Edwards. Donovan, I wish I could say that I was seeing more from him in his junior season. But man, oh man, it's been kind of rough to watch. The fact that he still can't read some of the blocks, the fact that he's not breaking off explosive plays. You know what I mean? It's a little bit discouraging. That's the only thing I would say right now. For me, that is an area of concern.
I mean, not only his productivity, but his attitude, which is of no surprise. Get back there, Corum. Stay back. Like crying because he couldn't, run it in from 3 yards out. Stay back. Please let me have this touchdown. Oh my gosh. Cry me a river. This dude.
Well,
Dude.
I actually appreciate that. That shows the fire, the hunger that this young man has. You know what I'm saying? Like if he came out willingly, you know, or quietly, I would kind of have a problem with that. But the fact that he wanted to stay in, that he wanted to finish off the drive, to me, shows a positive aspect.
But then you saw him, the camera panned to the sidelines. He's on the bench, with shoulders sulking. People have to tap his shoulder pads. Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Come on,
Well,
man.
again, I want the kind of competitor that is not happy to be taken out of the games. You know what I'm saying? I want the kind of competitive fire in each of those young men that is not satisfied with having to be subbed out. You know what I mean? So I want him to take that inner fire, that inner desire, and become better in practice, and then show it out during game day. So that's what I'm hoping happens for Dono.
One thing I'll add there is I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous watching those camera shots of them on the sidelines just to see how that would go. And I mean, it did look like Blake was, talk about Nunchi, you know. He was a little bit, you know, kind of, they're sitting next to each other, felt like he didn't know exactly how to act because he felt the stewing. He felt it right next to him, you know, and you saw how relieved he was that he could go out there and be one of the first to just like super congratulate him. I mean, so happy for him. Like the weight of the world lifted off of everybody's shoulders. I wasn't even sure that Donna was gonna like acknowledge him in that celebration, but all was well. It turns out those fears were overblown.
Yeah,
They're buds and brothers for life. We make too much out of nothing, honestly, but it's funny. It's comic value. Can't deny.
yeah, I think it was much to do about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't think there's any tension between Donovan and Blake. You know, so, but like I said, aside from all that, the only thing I'm hoping for is for Donovan to become a little bit more productive. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be one of our home run hitters, and he hasn't hit any home runs yet. You know, so that's what I'm hoping for, especially against this game coming up versus the Spartans.
So just real quick for a little bit bland X and O kind of thing. Donovan's been plenty productive in the pass game. And that's really, I mean, but when they try to hand off to him and get him going, it's too many of those, what are they called? The inefficient runs, 0, 1, 2 yards. That's his downfall. We can't get him going even at this juncture. If we played him exclusively in the pass game, he has been contributing pretty solidly. I mean, he's given us chunks. He doesn't increase our chance of punting when we're giving him targets in the pass game. When we hand off to him, I just feel like our rate of punting just skyrockets.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I didn't see this coming preseason, that Donald would struggle this much. I mean, there's a lot of things that I saw coming. If we had a preseason show, like I would have called JJ, I would have called Michael Barrett having a stellar year.
Oh my
But
gosh.
Donald, I don't know, I didn't see this one coming, which is very surprising. Like how, 2 yards, 3 yards, and he's down. Like it's just so easy to tackle. Just so easy to tackle. Just a little like touch on the ankle and he's down. What's going on with this guy?
That's so humble of you, JC from Sunnyside, to admit that you didn't see Dono, but you would have predicted everything else.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you guys get through these games. These games are so boring to watch. I was over watching this game at Nameless's house with General Jin, and I mean it's just after like 2.5 quarters, these games are just so boring. The plays are vanilla. I mean, I've said this every season, when you're up like 20, 30 points on an Indiana, can we mix in some other special plays that we may want to run or practice in a live situation? Everything is just so vanilla. It gets so boring, man. I fell asleep.
Hey, if it's working, if we're dominating, why tinker? You know. And going back to Dono, I would say like Mullings, Benjamin Hall, like these guys may start, creeping up on the depth chart. Donald better watch out. We can't afford, a yard, 2 yards per carry. We got to extend drives, and that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, if he's getting like 1 or 2 yards per carry on first and second down, it's basically putting the offense behind schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the more he puts the offense behind schedule, again, I'm afraid that the less touches he's going to see. So I'm just hoping that Donald, it always feels like he's one missed read away. You know what I mean? Like one, maybe he should have waited a half second for the block to develop, that kind of stuff. So I'm just hoping he could put it all together, sooner than later so that he can hit some home runs for us.
Like after I thought that after the second and third game, but this is the seventh game, and I'm still like, oh, he's like one or two, steps away. Against these teams, these are the teams that should be, breaking 100 yards.
But in fairness to Donovan Edwards, Blake hasn't really broken off a lot of long runs this season either.
Don't matter. That's not his game. And he's been productive and super good for the offense. Period. It's just plain to see.
I'll just put it this way. Last week we put the bet for him to get at least 60 yards, and he didn't break 60 yards. So we lost all our bets, all our parlays. So I'm hoping that Blake can be a little bit more productive versus the Spartans, so we can make a little bit of cash, you know what I mean, to make up for all these losses last week. Oh, these parlays have been rough, folks. Anywho, gentlemen, what are your predictions for this Saturday? The big game versus MSU.
I think we continue being that boa constrictor. As Joe Klatt says, the boa constrictor. It might be a little tight the first quarter because MSU is at home. It's a rivalry game. They're going to come out with some enthusiasm, energy, the whole fight in the tunnel last year at the big house. But then, after a quarter, it'll be the same old, same old. I say we win easy 45-10. And it'll be over by half.
Wow, 45. That's a big number away from home in a rivalry game. Woo.
Is Noah Kim, is he injured?
Not that I know.
As long as Noah Kim plays, they're not going to score more than probably 13 or 12. So, and he'll probably have like 2 or 3 picks. So I'm going to go with 36-12. And I'm predicting a defensive touchdown here.
Ooh.
A defensive touchdown for the Wolverines, 36-12. Noah Kim, at least 2 picks.
Keep up, man. He's benched. Old news.
Is he benched?
Yeah.
They benched him last game.
Doesn't matter. 36-12, defensive touchdown.
So, yeah, I'm similar, but I think that State's defense has actually been okay. It's been pretty good, and they're going to be inspired. I don't take Tatum, Dylan, whatever his name, the Bloomfield product, Edwards' former teammates' words. You heard it. He was full of bluster this week. Good bulletin board material. No, you aren't going to win, but I think their defense is going to be kind of stout and have more third down stops and a little lead to a few more red zone sputters. So I don't know about another 50-point kind of explosion. I'm thinking more like 35-13, kicking a last touchdown near the end that doesn't matter against second stringers. Just win, though. Be a guardian of victory and bring home the win.
Wow, you guys are just so conservative in your predictions. The only prediction that I like so far from the three of you is Squarehead's prediction that the defense is going to score a touchdown. I'm going to put that as part of our parlay this week. Defensive score touchdown for the University of Michigan. And I think that's going to be one of 7 touchdowns this coming Saturday. 7. And I'm thinking they're going to put up another 50 bomb up on the scoreboard. I'm going to say 50. I want to say 55. I want to say 55. But I think I got to reel it back a little bit to 52. So one field goal, 7 touchdowns, 52. Third straight game, 52 points for the Michigan Wolverines. MSU Spartans, 6. 2 field goals. That's it. That's it.
That would be lovely. In a subtext, my true desire. Look, you have to keep in mind. Come on, this is going to be a few days before Halloween. It could be a freak show. Crazy things happen in this stupid rivalry. I wish it wasn't a protected game. Nothing would make me more pleased than another one of Big Reg's super optimistic predictions to come true. This one very well could, but I want dirty playing Sparties to not inflict any injuries on our beloved Wolverines.
I'm telling you, it's good.
No injuries. Don't get banged up. Just be a guardian of victory.
I'm telling you, they're gonna come out full of, like you said. I think they, if we win the toss, we're gonna give them the ball first. They're gonna come out, with a lot of, hooping and hollering and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna amount to much. Michigan's gonna punch him in the mouth right away. You know what? I'll go out on a limb right now. 3 and out. If they get the ball first, 3 and out for them on their first drive. We get the ball back, short field, boom, touchdown.
Oh man, that sounds like two additional legs on that parlay, baby.
Hey, if they offer that first drive, 3 and out for the Spartans, and then Michigan short field touchdown, I'll make that parlay. I'll make that parlay. And if I'm feeling really frisky, I'll say not a 3 and out on their first drive. The pick 6 comes on the first drive.
Oh, whoa. We're getting into the 1-800 Gambleholics territory here. Come on.
There's a reason why those odds are like plus 20,000.
Hey, all it takes is $1 and a dream, baby. All it takes is $1 and a dream. Use the link below, FanDuel.com. Sign up using our promo code. No, but honestly, I really think that, it's going to be a lot of, like I said, hooping and hollering and all that kind of stuff. But unlike some of the other games that we had where we start off a little bit slow, I think right from the get-go, Michigan is just going to put the foot down on the neck and stomp it out.
So there's something to that. I think against Indiana, we had to kind of get ourselves up for the game, right? So like after they scored a touchdown on the trick play, we're like, oh, we got to wake up and then we put the boa constrictor. I think against Michigan State, I think there's a lot of hype in the Michigan locker room based on what happened last year, what MSU players did. They don't want to come out in the media and say anything. They're tempering their hype in public. But man, in that locker room, I'm sure they want to just stomp their necks. So I think there's something to that, Reg. But I still think night game, MSU will play tough, but we'll pull it out. I would say, you know what? I'm gonna bump it up 40 instead of 45. I'll go 48. You drop a field goal. You drop a field goal. I'll go up a field goal. Right? 48.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be the third straight 50 bomb that Michigan, lays down on an opponent. I'm telling you, 52-6.
You're convincing me because, like, as Jay was talking about that, the 2 brothers that were assaulted are still there, man. Jaden and Green, their brothers are there, still on the team. They're going to march out on there, They're going to defend them. I'm not going to call it like avenge or revenge. It's just it's too violent sounding, but just man, you're right. That's still raw. And JJ's flowery talk about goldfish mentality. That's just a QB1 being QB1, okay? But man, you're right. That fire burns deep.
That's just savvy media training talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm telling you though, once that game starts, they're gonna be ready to roll. 7:30 kickoff too. Spending the whole day thinking about how much you want to kill them. Holy smokes! I'm getting scared. Holy cow!
Well, this would be a sweet one. This one more than almost any game. Personally, I want bad. I give only a conservative prediction just because these games are whack. The punt, the this, the that. These games get whack. Okay, but like, man, I want to annihilate, humiliate, pulverize. This is the one I just want. Crushola. Yeah, that would be sweet. And boring? Are you kidding me, Square? These are the most satisfying. I watched to the bitter end. Every last reserve snap is just beautiful to my eyes. I love it. I soak up every last second of it. It is great. And then the post game, that's like the best. How is Harbaugh going to round up the people to get interviewed? That, like, you got to watch it to the very end. Every bit of it is like it's part of the new tradition. It's glory.
Here's a parlay to add. How many seconds until Harbaugh says, "Hey, but talk to this guy," and then he brings in one of his players? Huh? How many seconds? When All-American girl Jenny Taft comes over and tries to interview him, and he goes, "Yeah, we had a great game, but I need you to talk to this guy."
It's always over under, I'd say about 11 seconds, give or take 11 seconds. Oh man, like I said,
good to see you again, Jenny.
Love it though. I love it. It's
and you know who else is gonna be rooting for Michigan? Maybe Mel Tucker.
Oh, come on.
Little maize and blue.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I don't want him cheering for us at all in any capacity. Oh, he's so creepy. Ooh. Oh. So creepy. Oh man.
So many things I want to say right now that exercising restraint.
Okay? Oh yeah. Just don't even
okay.
Stay away from it.
I know it's hard. But please stay away.
Seriously, nothing good could come of it. Nothing good. Anywho, gentlemen, we raise our glass to the University of Michigan Wolverines. What a fine start to the season it's been. Just rip roaring, hitting on all cylinders so far, and going into rivalry week against MSU. And man, oh man, I'm looking forward to this Saturday. I just wish the game was a little bit earlier. 7:30 is a heck of a long time to wait. Yowzers. Anyway, raise our glass to them, to the Michigan Wolverines, and we say, go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.